once again to the National Heisey Glass Museum. We're filming today in room 2 of the King House, which is our color room, and it's one of my favorite rooms any time of the year, but on some of these dreary Ohio days, it's particularly a place that I enjoy being. And today I have my trusty ice cream maker and a wonderful 1905 White House cookbook. And you may ask why I have these items, and I'm going to tell you. Heisey made, in one of their very first patterns, this is a Fandango piece, and this pattern was made from 1896 to 1905, and this is an ice cream tray. We also, Heisey, that is, also made in the 353 medium flat panel pattern that was made from 1909 to 1935, an ice cream tray. How is an ice cream tray used, you ask? At least I asked that. I thought these pieces were really interesting, but how were they used? So, I've done some research. And in the time period that these were produced, ice cream was a status item. Not everybody, well, nobody had a home freezer. Everything was done with ice. So to make ice, or to have ice to make ice cream was a luxury, and you were spending some money. And then once you had something made, you had to keep it frozen. So ice cream was served often pretty fresh because there was no way in the home to keep it frozen. But getting back to our ice cream trays, at this point, there are over 20 recipes in the period cookbook for ice cream molds. And this is a period ice cream mold. It's a very popular mold of the period called a melon mold. And if I put that melon mold on the ice cream tray, it fits very well. One of my favorite recipes that I came across was for the melon mold. You made first a lime sherbet and lined the melon mold with the green lime sherbet. And then you made a raspberry sherbet, which was red, and filled the green shell with the red raspberry sherbet. That if you were really daring, you had put chocolate chips in. And then you had something that resembled a watermelon. And that was considered the height of fashion at the turn of the century. Now, here it is ready to be served. How did you serve it? Many silver patterns of the day had an ice cream knife. This is a broad serving blade that's not sharp, but it was there so that you could slice your ice cream and then serve it. When you cut your melon mold, if you had lined it with lime sherbet and then filled the lime sherbet with raspberry sherbet with chocolate chips, you had something that resembled a slice of watermelon. Didn't taste like watermelon, but it was a very status-rich item to be able to serve that to your guests. Again, late Victorian, early, there would have been an ice cream fork to eat your ice cream with. Today we sometimes refer to these as sporks. This is a pattern that was popular starting in the late 1880s and happens to match the ice cream server that I have. But American Silver patterns continued through the 1930s, many of them, to include an ice cream spoon or eating implement. This is one that you probably can't see, but it has some Greek key detail on it. And I collected these to go with my Greek key sherbet dishes because I think it makes a terrific complement to that. So now the other thing that was going on at the same period were smaller individual ice cream molds. These were often made out of pewter and were characters and formed an item that was just large enough for one serving. So this larger ice cream tray would have been perfect for serving guests those individual molds. And there are some other Heisey patterns that include even larger ice cream trays. So remember, somebody had cranked this machine for up to a half an hour or 45 minutes per batch to make this. If you're doing a mold and you're doing different types, then you could at least double the time. And then the molds are watertight, so this would have been wrapped and placed back in the ice to keep it frozen. And a heavy carpet of some kind would have been put over the bin or container with the ice to keep it frozen until dinner. Ice cream is popular today, and it was certainly popular in the past. And to me, it's just very, very interesting that Heisey created these pieces specifically for the serving of ice cream, and that it was a status item to serve to your guests. So of course you'd want to put it on Heisey. We have many such stories to share here at the Heisey Museum, and they're a social history as well as the history of our glass making. So once again, I invite you to enjoy this, and when you can, come and visit us at the National Heisey Glass Museum. Thank you so much.